Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you about my little day spa in Western New York called Susan Naturally Day Spa. This is the 8th year in a row that I have won Best Facial, and it's really a pleasure and an honor to be here. I grew up in Buffalo and I moved to New York City for 37 years. And my husband wanted to move back here when we got sick of the concrete jungle. So here we are. The people are lovely here. Lots of people come and see me who used to go to me in New York City from California and Oklahoma and Boston and Florida and New Jersey, New York, all kinds of places. But anyway, all are welcome. You would love it. It's very peaceful and sweet in my little day spa. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about beauty begins from within. It's been my motif ever since I was a little girl because I was totally influenced by the quality of the food that I was eating, the stress level that I was living under, and the lack of nutrition and the lack of hydration. So it really impacted my skin at a very young age. And I developed eczema and psoriasis, and I was totally constipated, and it was absolutely brutal for me. So today I wanted to talk about something that's so much more powerful than skincare alone. Skincare has its place. It's really important to choose your products wisely, but you have to really work on your insides as well. We're not only talking hydration, we're talking your emotional state and also your nutritional, the nutritional value of the food that you're eating. So today we're going to stress the fact that drinking enough water is really important for you. I saw on a YouTube clip recently that you should drink 16 ounces of water first thing in the morning after you brush your teeth and scrape your tongue and do all your oral hygiene though. And I used to think that 4 ounces, because I learned this too, 4 ounces at a time is adequate. But one of my clients, she's a beautiful woman, no offense, but I totally transformed her skin. She's been coming to me for about 5 years. She looks so different than when we started. She's in her very late 70s, and she started drinking 16 ounces of water a day in the morning, as I said, and it totally changed how she felt. So, and I poo-pooed it when she told me, but I started doing that. And I really love what it does for me. It gives me mental clarity. It makes me feel energetic. It makes me feel lighter and just clean and fresh. And I have to time it because I go to church every morning, and so I have to get up early enough to do 2 bathroom breaks before I hit the road. So anyway, I wanted to encourage you to drink filtered water first thing in the morning. 16 ounces is a really good start. So your brain loves water as much as the cells, all of the cells in your body love water. It's really important to drink a lot of water for your brain health. Your brain is approximately 73% water. So even mild dehydration, which is minus 1 to 2% of fluid loss, can reduce your concentration, your memory, your mood, your reaction time to things, which is really, really important when you're driving or when you're using equipment or just even when you're in your kitchen, and also for mental clarity itself. So dehydration, the one thing to remember about dehydration is by the time you feel dehydrated, that your brain is aware of it, you're already way past dehydration. So once you do your 16 ounces in the morning, it's good to then drink water throughout the day in 4 to 5 ounce increments. So drink your water throughout the day so that you're staying hydrated all day long. So not only does your brain love water, and your brain is such an important organ in your body because it tells everything what to do and when to do it. And it's very important to keep your brain happy and healthy on every level. So your skin loves water too. So when you drink enough water throughout the day, your intestines feel more, they get to release toxins more. Can you pull this up a little? It's okay. So dehydration, when you're dehydrated, your skin will look really crinkly, especially around your eyes. And your skin, when you are hydrated, you're going to have less dark circles under your eyes. Your skin will seem smoother, and it also helps to repair that healthy skin barrier. Although you need products to secure hydration in your skin, drinking water won't erase wrinkles per se, but the cleaner your body is inside, and water is a good way to flush toxins out of your body from within, the smaller your pores are and the clearer your complexion will be. As a matter of fact, the nurses who are in the delivery room when babies are being delivered, they can always tell when a mother during pregnancy drank enough water throughout the pregnancy, because the babies that are born have crystal clear skin. Sometimes babies are born with little breakouts all over their face, and they really do not appear very healthy. And that's because during the 9 months that the baby was in the womb, the mother didn't drink adequate amounts of water. So water is just so important for you. Also, the quality of your water too. We use the zero filter. I know there are more complicated filtration systems out there, and I think it's great if you invest in that. But for us, for where we live, that's good enough for us. But you've got to be really careful with unfiltered water, because they put a lot of chlorine in water to kill the pathogens that are in the drinking water. And the other thing is, there are forever chemicals in your water. Even the drugs that are used to terminate a pregnancy, traces of that drug are found in our drinking water. So you really have to think about stripping the water that you're drinking from as many toxins as you possibly can. And then a few times during the day, either add a tablespoon of organic apple cider vinegar in the glass of water, stir it up, drink it, and then afterwards rinse your mouth out, because the acid, it'll affect your enamel. Or put fresh lemon juice in your water as well, because the lemon will help to clear, and the lemon will help to cleanse your body from within as well. So once again, because of the acid, make sure you're always rinsing your mouth out whenever you have an acidic type water that you're drinking.
Jane Mannion said thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So practical tips for you as far as what you can expect when you drink water. You know how we always get chapped lips? And by the way, I have the most wonderful lip balm. That's organic, it's pure, it's great. It really helps to prevent your lips from getting chapped. But drinking enough water throughout the day is also another way to help prevent chapped lips. And dry eyes, I notice that because when I'm in the facial room, I cannot break to leave that treatment until the mask is on my client. And that's 45 minutes into the treatment. If I don't time my water perfectly, and I get little dried while I'm working rather on the client. My eyes will get really dry, and that's directly associated with the amount of water intake for that day. So just make sure that you're really consuming enough water throughout the day. And then when I mentioned brain fog, when I'm in the treatment room giving facials, I only talk to my client for the first few minutes during the treatment because I want to put them to sleep, to relax them deeply. But I have to be sharp and aware of what I'm doing at all times, because I have to pay attention to each person has a unique skin profile that I must work with, and you've got to stay really, really accurate in your decisions while you're doing that. So I can't see the screen right now. Okay, there you go. So when you drink, I want to talk to you about dehydration a little bit too. When you're drinking coffee or caffeinated tea or alcohol, it will totally dehydrate you. So make sure that if you are going to drink coffee or tea with caffeine, make sure you increase your water intake. And just because you're drinking liquid, meaning in the form of coffee or tea or juice, which I don't recommend, but because of the sugar content, but however, what you need to do when you're drinking that water is make sure you're sipping it really, really slowly, because believe it or not, your saliva should mix with the water. You shouldn't just jug it down. You should take your time and drink water very slowly. So also make sure that you are watching your salt intake, because that could dehydrate you too. Himalayan salt, Celtic sea salt, that's all very, very good for you, but you want to make sure you're using salt in moderation. So then when it comes to foods that you could eat that will hydrate you too, cucumbers are great. Watermelon is really good. And by the way, with watermelon, get organic watermelon. Don't buy conventional watermelon. Scrub the skin, and you can make that into a tea. And use the watermelon seeds as well. That's very healthy for you. It's a natural diuretic. And watermelon, can you just give me the stats on exactly what watermelon has in it besides the hydration?
Sure, while I pull that up, Jane Minion said reverse osmosis water system is worth the investment.
I agree with her. I don't have the counter space for it. My friends, when we lived in California, our friends in California, they all had that. I totally agree with her. So if you could do that, that would be great. I thank you so much for giving us that tip and reminding me maybe I can make space for that. But anyway, here we go. Cucumbers, watermelon, oranges, celery, strawberries, all the berries are good for you as far as hydration. And really crisp lettuces like romaine lettuce. Arugula is too good to pass up. You have to eat arugula. It has water content in it. Spinach has a lot of water in it. You could tell when you're sauteing spinach how much water is released. Even mushrooms, the water that's released from the mushroom that gets into the pan. So these foods and fruits are very, very good for you for hydration. So as far as herbal teas go, it's always good to do a blend of caffeinated, like I drink gunpowder green tea, Gen Matcha, which is a really great tea blend with green tea and toasted barley, and I can't remember what else is in that. Maybe Josh could pull that up, but it's delicious, very interesting flavor. But I combine that with other teas like milk thistle, hibiscus. I make a big pot of it. I always put fresh ginger in my tea because that's very good as an anti-inflammatory for you. So I make my tea substantial for me, for it, so that it's not just a source of hydration, but it's a source of antioxidants. And because only part of it is caffeinated, and mildly caffeinated at that, because green tea doesn't have the same caffeine hit that a black tea does. Not that they're bad for you, but you just have to compensate with even more water. But it balances itself out. So as far as watermelon goes, it's 92% water, 8% sugar, and it has other nutrients. And it's the good thing about it is it has vitamin C in it, it has vitamin A even, and it has minerals in it. Can you see what kind of minerals? I think it has magnesium, but I'm not sure. But nevertheless, don't be afraid of the sugar content when you're eating whole food, like a watermelon in the whole food stage form like that, because your body can handle that. Just make sure that you're staying as active as you can. Here we go. So watermelon has potassium in it, and magnesium and phosphorus. Potassium and magnesium are so crucial for us. Your brain needs all of these minerals on a daily basis to stay functioning well. So it has 170 milligrams of potassium, which is only 4% of what you need throughout the day. It has 15.2 milligrams to 15.4 milligrams, which is again another 4% for magnesium, but that is so good for nerve health. And like, for instance, if you cramp at night when you go to sleep, it's from not having enough magnesium in your system and also not having enough hydration. Can we pull up more foods that are really high in magnesium? I know beans, legumes are, but at any rate, it also has manganese and phosphorus and calcium helps to support bone strength, bone density. So this is, when you're thinking about anti-aging, please don't just think of your skin, think of your bones and your bone structure. When you lose bone mass, your facial structure is going to change. So you'll have, if having brittle bones makes you so susceptible to literally deadly falls, because the elderly, they don't recover from that. So when you are eating foods that are really high in magnesium and other minerals, it's always good to lift light weights every single day and do squats with weights on your shoulders, like even 5 pounds on your shoulders, 5 and 5, and hold on to the back of a chair and do squats. Doing that will really help to increase your bone density too. So there you go. This is good stuff to keep in mind to keep yourself healthy from within as far as hydration goes. So now we're going to talk about emotional wellness. I know we're all watching the news, and doesn't matter what side of the aisle that you're on, the news is set up to push your buttons. So please take care of your emotional body. So when you're under stress, you will break out more and you will have rosacea. So your emotions have to stay in check. So your emotional stress will cause acne, or just regular breakouts, eczema, psoriasis. It'll prematurely age you, and it slows down wound healing if you happen to have any wounds. So keeping your emotional body in check, one way to do that is by practicing deep breathing. So the slow, long in-breaths in, slow, long exhalation. This is really important for you to oxygenate your blood and calm your nervous system. Exercise is also really good for your emotional well-being. It's very important. When you exercise, your brain releases serotonin. That's the feel-good hormone, and it helps offset cortisol, because when cortisol is released in the body, you'll have a bloated belly and you'll just be real agitated, and that is not good for you. So also, when your emotions are off, you could be binge eating, and because your emotional need for that comfort on an emotional level, sometimes people equate eating with emotional comfort. And I'd rather you take time out, take a bath, do your deep breathing, go for a walk, say a prayer, say prayers. Prayers work. Practicing gratitude is really very, very good for your emotional health. Even if you're literally going through hell, the more you practice gratitude, the better it is for you on every level. On a vibrational level, you will attract love and peace into your life when you show God, your maker, a gratitude for whatever you're going through. Remember that we're all here to learn lessons so that our soul can evolve. And when your emotional wellness is being challenged, even thanking God for that challenge, it just helps you get stronger on a spiritual level as well. So it'll just help you manage your life more fully and more accurately and more peacefully. So deep breathing is very helpful. Practicing stretching and like Tai Chi kind of movements, as long as you're not equating that with some fluff feel-good thing and you're just using that to bring oxygenated blood throughout your whole body. Yoga and stretching and things like Tai Chi and going on brisk walks or even slow walks, just getting yourself out in nature. These are all really good things to do. You can let it come up. I'm stuck. Choosing the books that you read is very important for you, because like reading, for instance, violent books on violence, it won't do anything good for you on a spiritual, emotional level. Not good at all. Try to read things that will teach you about health, wellness, love, life, beautiful relationships, that kind of thing. Much better for you than horror kind of books. Journaling is really good for you. I always encourage people to journal while they're in the bathtub. I think people should take baths all the time, and not because I sell the quintessential bath products, but because I sell those products because I want you to be sedated and feel good and be deeply and totally relaxed and detoxed at the same time. That's why my bath products are so good. They relax you and detox you at the same time. But also, when you listen to peaceful music, it just really helps surround you. That vibe, that beautiful, loving vibe. I try to listen. I listen to Gregorian chanting because it just floats my boat. It gives me such a deep sense of peace and a longing for that loving relationship with God and with nature, and that just goes along with practicing gratitude for everything that I have in my life, no matter what it is. So also talking with, like, keeping your family close. Family and good friends close to you is important too, but picking friends that support you. Don't pick friends that tear you down or make you feel bad about yourself. Choosing the right friends, you need to have loving, supportive people in your life. Even family can tear you apart. Choose the people around you that will make you feel good, loved, and supported and uplifted. That's really important for you. The other thing is before you go to sleep at night, if you practice deep breathing and you practice your gratitude and you thank God for everything that happened to you throughout the day, good or bad, and you will actually literally go to sleep so much more peacefully, and you'll stay asleep and throughout the night. And when you wake up in the morning, same thing, you practice your gratitude because God gave you another day, another chance to live a beautiful life. It's because it's all up to us, and our attitude is the glass half full or half empty. We need to have the right attitude towards life, and that really affects the quality of your sleep. So, and I also think, and I've said this in other videos too, the more peaceful your bedroom is, the better off you are. Meaning, eliminate clutter, make sure it's clean and orderly. And when you do that, when you sleep in that environment, your psyche just feels better. And it's also very good to drink water at least 3 hours before you go to bed. At least drink 8 ounces of water before you go to, a few hours before you go to bed, because you want to make sure your brain is hydrated throughout the night. So, just remember that beauty is not just your skin. Your eyes have to stay beautiful and clear. Your skin, it needs to be balanced from the inside out with good hydration and good emotional balance. And you just need to make sure that you're living a very positive, inspired life to be your best self. It takes practice, especially today when a lot of women are not taking care of themselves because they're anti-relationships and anti-men and anti-love. I just think that for me, I love being in a love-filled relationship. The more love you give, the more love you receive. And it's just a wonderful balance of that give and take and give and take and give and take. And gratitude is extremely important for that, because when you practice that gratitude, you'll actually draw love into your sphere, into your world. So there you go.
So next item will be nutrition.
Okay, here we go. So food, I've always been a foodie, not by choice, because when I was growing up, I was born in 1956, but at the end of 56. So the end of the 50s and into the 60s, there was so much processed food, canned everything, really horrible, no offense to Nestle's, but chocolate quick and strawberry whatever. All of these foods and things that I was drinking gave me constipation, rosacea, psoriasis, little pimples. It was horrible, and I was a vain tomboy. So for me, I was very active in all sports, all 4 seasons. I absolutely loved sports. I grew up with 4 brothers, and I noticed that the quality of the food and what I was eating definitely impacted my skin. My mother one year bought me that 3-way mirror, and one of the settings was a magnifying mirror, and I would look at my pores, and I would see, every day I did this, and I would see breakouts and at times, and I would think really hard, what did I do yesterday that created that today? And so being one of, we were 6 kids in all, but living in a crazy, frenetic Italian family, mealtime was so incredibly stressful that it didn't even matter if I had quality food in front of me, because of the state of my mind, I could not digest it because I was crouched in fear throughout the whole meal. So that's why you have to work on your emotional body even before you consume what you're going to consume. So relax yourself before you eat. It's always important to eat both above ground and below ground vegetables, no matter what time of year it is. Berries are really important. The above ground and below ground vegetables have the vitamins and minerals in them. The berries have a lot of antioxidants and vitamins in them. Legumes have great fiber and protein and amino acids and minerals and trace elements in them. Tomatoes have water and lycopene in them, and they're high in vitamin C. All the dark green leafy vegetables are very good for you. And not only are these foods that I've mentioned so far very good for your skin, but they're very good for fighting off cancer cells. Everyone has cancer cells in their body, and the healthier your body the choices are that you make for what you feed your body, the healthier choice you make, the more you can help build up your immune system to fight things off. Nuts are really important too. Make sure that they're not spent, rancid. Make sure your nuts are not rancid. Rancid nuts are so unhealthy for you. If you buy a bag of nuts and they're rancid, take them back. Don't chance it. Just get rid of it. Because your body, it's just so putrid inside. It's actually dangerous. Avocados are very, very good for you. They have wetness in them, great oils, omega-3. They have protein in them. They soothe your body from the inside out. They're very important for you to consume as often as you can. And you can also cook with avocado oil as well. Olive oil is very important for you. Cold pressed olive oil from very hot regions is very important for you, like Morocco, Spain, Italy. Those are the ones that I love. France too, especially now. My goodness, the heat index in Europe is through the moon, and the olive oil that they will be producing will be so spectacular because of this heat that poor Europe is going through. Fatty fish is also very good for you. So fish in the cold, that's fished from cold waters, is very good for your brain and your skin and your eyes. Also, so the blueberries, even though they're good for as an anti-inflammatory, blueberries happen to be good for your brain as well. And omega-3 fish is very good for your brain, as I said. And all the nuts are good for your brain, but especially walnuts. They even look like a mini brain. Eggs are very good for you. They should be organic, pasture-raised eggs. They have because eggs that are cooped up from an egg farm, it's so dangerous because all the chickens they're on racks, and the ones on the top poop on the ones on the bottom, and it keeps pooping all the way down, and they can't move, and they don't produce healthy eggs, those poor little chickens. It's so sad what they go through, but nevertheless, choose good eggs, and you must eat the yolk. Josh's going to pull up all the nutrients that are found in the yolk, but the yolk is extremely important. I never bought into that trend of eating egg whites only. It just does not, it never seemed correct to me. So egg yolks have protein in them, but they have 4.5 grams of fat. good fats though. They have vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, and B complex, and B12 and B2. And so that means when you hear vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K, especially D and K, that means that eggs are really good for your bone density. But you want to make sure that calcium's not floating around in your bloodstream. So in order for that to happen, where it goes to your bone where it's supposed to be, that's where lifting lightweight comes from. That's where lifting weights in general comes from. It's going to put more demand on the bone, your bone structure. And then you will, your body, we were made so brilliantly. The calcium will go into the bone and it will get stronger. So also, whole grains are really good for you. I bake sourdough bread all the time, and I use really good quality bread flour, but I always mill my own, the flours that I add to that. So I buy the raw berries, hard white wheat, hard red wheat berries, rye berries, barley, and I grind all that in. I just use a NutriBullet, and I just do it until it's fine, because the grain mills, they're almost $1,000. They're so expensive, and I just won't bite the bullet. I won't do that. I just use my little NutriBullet. But nevertheless, eating whole grains is good for you. So that means rice, quinoa, even wild rice is not a grain, by the way. It's a grass, but I'm lumping it in there anyway. Millet is very good for you. So it's good to have a variety of grains. Don't just go for the same thing all the time, because you want to always give your bloodstream a great medley of different minerals and trace elements and amino acids to cull from to make you perfect. So also, I mentioned this before, but leafy green vegetables. So that would be Swiss chard. If you're going to eat kale, you must mash it with your hands, because chewing doesn't break it down. It's too fibrous, and the nutrients are stuck in the cellulose surrounding. So unless you physically mash that kale in your hands before you either cook it gently in olive oil with garlic, or I'm going to add it to the salad, that's the only way you're going to get the nutritional value from it. Spinach is really important, but for me personally, I have to cook my spinach. I don't cook the heck out of it. I just saute it in very gently in warm olive oil with garlic. Remember that garlic is really one of the best antioxidants that God made for us, and onions too. So I think it's called allium family, and it kills bacteria. Like whenever my husband starts to feel sick, he will chew on raw garlic and it goes away right away. So garlic is the most phenomenal natural antibiotic. So God forbid you ever get sick, like even if you're eating bad lettuce and you get diarrhea from that, please right away, always have fresh organic garlic on hand. Right away start chewing that garlic. It's such a powerful tool in your kitchen that it will really make a difference, and it could save your life. Get in a pinch if you have ingested something that is that's filled with microbes that your body can't handle. You eat enough garlic, it's gone, it's dead. So also the refined carbohydrates, as far as what you should limit, I would never ever eat processed food, because it has zero nutritional value. It's so easy to make your own food. You just have to have a well-stocked kitchen in order to do it. So excess sugar also is bad. I buy raw sugar and I buy cane sugar. And when I bake for company I entertain a lot, when I bake, none of my desserts taste sweet because I'm using sugar in its more natural form. Still spikes your blood sugar. So after dinner, if you can, be as active as you can be to help regulate your sugar after a meal. That's really important. And with processed foods, you're going to have so many chemical additives to it and trans fats that just destroy your heart and your circulatory system. Very bad. Alcohol, heavy alcohol intake is very bad for your brain, for your heart, for your liver. It destroys your skin. It destroys your looks. Just even having wine in moderation is okay for you. But as far as spirits go, whenever I have a drink, in my own home, just with like straight gin or straight vodka, the next morning I have dark circles under my eyes. I don't like that. Wine does not do that to me, but everything has to be in moderation. So if you wanted to know, you can write in the comments if you want recipes from me for certain things like crackers or anything that you want from me. My rye bread, my all sourdough, my regular sourdough bread, whatever you need from me, I'm so happy to help you with. Just drop a comment below, or you can email me at products@susanciminelli.com and I can answer your questions that way as well. So just to recap what we've learned so far, it's staying hydrated with the right liquids, making sure your emotional body is in check, that you feel loved, and self-love, very important. Self-love will bring love to you. Relax your nervous system. Read happy, healthy books. Take baths. Do deep breathing. Exercise. Make sure that you're practicing gratitude. Make sure that you're in a relaxed state before you eat your food, whatever meal it is, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's very important that you're relaxed before you start eating, because if you eat when you're tense, you will not digest your food. So it's very important to stay relaxed. That means don't put the news on during your meals, because it'll destroy your peace. So also remember this, your stomach is as big as your closed fist. So the more you chew your food, the more food you can fit in there. But this Ayurvedic rule of thumb is 1/3 food, 1/3 liquid, and 1/3 air, which means 1/3 nothing in there. So that when your stomach, after you've eaten, your stomach will move itself around. It contracts, and it's doing that to mix all the digestive enzymes into the chyme or the chewed food that's in your stomach. So it's really important that you chew your food well and that you don't overeat, because if you overeat, you won't digest your food at all. So I look forward to seeing you again. And if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. And I hope to hear from you in either at products@susanciminelli.com or in the comments below.
Now, there was also another comment. You can bring this up about the spa. I think this would be a good way to bring in the spa. Jane said, the stones flew off me. You said, wrap her up. A truly transformative experience decades ago in NYC. Okay,
when I was younger, I went through such emotional stress and trauma. It was unbearable. what I went through, and I repressed it all. And by the time I was 27, I was deformed from a skin disease. And I had it for 6 years, and I went to every kind of doctor, even Ayurvedic, acupuncture, Western medicine. Absolutely nobody could put a dent in. They couldn't figure out what was wrong, and they couldn't treat me for it. And it was very painful, and it was disgustingly ugly. And one wacky woman that I met said she could tell just by looking at me what was wrong, because she knew I was repressing emotions. So she told me that I should work with crystals. And intuitively, I just knew what to do. And I went and bought them, and I put them on myself. And I felt something shift so huge in my being. And when I went to take them off, I knew that you had to clear crystals with salt water, but I was in a hotel room and I didn't have access to salt. And so I was just putting them under running water. And because I felt so different after that crystal layout, and my breathing was huge and expanded, and I just knew something shifted in me. When I went to the sink, I noticed that I had a huge green pus blister on the back of my hand that happened because of the crystal healing that I had done on myself. So that means that pus was in my system for all of those years, and that when my vibration raised, the infection shot out and into this blister. So that was in the late 70s. And since then, early 80s. And since then, I started working with them on clients in my spa. And I noticed that when I would do the crystal layout on them, on some people, because I could always tell intuitively what they were going through, on some people, they would pop off. And I thought that was good, because I know it was good, because it pulled stuff out of them. So if a crystal popped off and fell on the floor, I didn't pick that one up and put it back on them. I would put a clean, fresh one on them. But if somebody was really toxic on an emotional level, and this is no affront to the person, a good treatment that I do is a seaweed body wrap, because it's so deeply emotionally relaxing for you that it helps to lift you out of the trauma that's reverberating in, because your cells have memory. It's a reverberation that you just flush that down the drain. A seaweed body wrap is so important for you. It also, by the way, is slimming. It gets rid of toxic fluid in you, and it's anti-inflammatory. But on an emotional level, the seaweed body wrap is incredibly healing for you.
Talk about the award you just won.
So I just won Best Day Spa in New York City. In Buffalo. And 8 years in a row. So I swear it's because when I work on people, I'm treating them on every level. And when they're on the table, I don't look at their skin when they come in with the magnifying mirror. I could feel where the problems are, and I could feel the dead skin cell buildup. And by the time I'm done an hour later, their skin is soft, radiant, dewy, and they have the most incredible glow, which is called the Ciminelli Glow. So I also love at my day spa doing lymphatic drainage massage, which is also very slimming and very relaxing, and it's very good to help people balance their hormones. And I do reflexology and the seaweed body wraps. And with every treatment that I do, I top them off with the crystals, because the crystals will just elevate their level of relaxation and make them feel so good. So please come and visit. It's worth the trip.